Hi guys, today you're going to be working on this project called the Google Earth Landforms project, and you'll open up this document to check out what this is all about. This video tutorial will hopefully walk you through any questions that you might have, but if you do run into anything where you're not sure, don't forget you can always email me and I'll try to answer your question. Okay, so first things first, you got to open up Google Earth, and you can do that by clicking on the link that's here. So just open up Google Earth. And then it's going to say, all this stuff, but you can go to here where it says Launch Earth. So just launching the Google Earth program. Keep this open. It might take a little bit of time to actually see the Google Earth because it takes some time to process everything. But once you do, most likely it might not be this view, but I'm zoomed in on CBA at the moment. Okay. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to do is this whole point of this project is to find different landforms throughout the globe. So you see down here a list of different landforms that are created by different agents of erosion. So you have glacier landforms, you have stream landforms, wind, as well as ocean waves and currents. So these are some of the things that we've been talking about in the classroom. Some of these things we've looked at, particularly, especially with glaciers. So you're going to want to find these things around the globe. Now, some of these I think might be familiar to you, and you might know where some of these are. Maybe some of the others might be, you don't know where you would find these on Google Earth, and probably not in our immediate area. So trying to find them just by looking might be a little bit challenging. So first thing you want to do is pick 8 of them. Okay, any 8, I don't really care. Okay, just pick 8 of these different landforms that are here. One stipulation, you have to pick at least one from every category. Okay, so you can have like 3 glacier landforms, and then a fourth is from streams, and another one from wind, and another one from waves. But you have to have at least one from every category. Okay, so just a heads up there. Now let me give you an example of what you're going to do. Okay, so we're going to go on Google Earth here, and what I would suggest doing is saying, okay, let's say I picked the term arête, okay? An arête is a glacial landform, and you need to, I would say, just look up an arête on Google, okay? Now, what you're going to often find is like different things mean the same thing, like companies called that. So make sure you get the correct definition of that word when you look it up on Google. I'm going to just go on Wikipedia, and here is an example of arête. Now, often what you'll see is there will be examples of these listed at the bottom of the Wikipedia article. And these are really helpful because these tell you where they might be located. Okay. Now, a really good example of this, see this one right here, this picture? This is the Garden Wall. It's in Glacier National Park. And so once you know where one of these is located, you can go back to Google Earth. I'll close out. I'm here on Google Earth. Just go to the search bar right here, and just type in the Garden Wall, Glacier National Park. Okay, and what it will do is automatically zoom you right over to that, and hopefully it's in the right location. We'll see. Aha, there it is. Okay, there's the Garden Wall in Glacier National Park, and it'll kind of swing you around so you can see the whole thing. It's a beautiful area in Glacier National Park, of this ridge that's created as a result of this glacier carving out the landscape here. So that's an arête, okay, this like really narrow ridge. Now, what you're going to want to do, I'm going to stop this, okay? What you're going to need to do is you're going to make a project out of this. So if you come over here to the left-hand side, you'll see it says right here, projects. So you click on that button, and you click on New Project, okay? And you can create the project in Google Drive. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to name this project Google Landforms Project. I'm going to put my name here, Mr. Roboto. You can put your name there. And now we're just going to create features, okay? Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to define what an arête is. So I'm going to go like this and click on that and say, all right, full screen slide. This is just a slide. And I'm going to say, okay, this is an arête, A-R-E-T-E. Or arete, and this is found in Glacier National Park. It's called the Garden Wall. I'm going to define where it is, and It's in Glacier National Park. So just give me some specifics as to where it is. And then what I want is, what is an arete? What is an arete? And you can get that definition from anywhere. You can Google it. You can get it right from Wikipedia. I'm just going to take this information here. It's a narrow ridge of rock which separates two valleys. Okay, and it's made by a glacier. I don't need to put all of that stuff, but that's the basic definition of the word there. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it right into this definition here. I'm going to right-click and hit paste as plain text because that gets rid of all the formatting there. Okay, and so I'm just going to write that arete, narrow ridge of rock which separates two valleys. Okay, so that's my my first part there. Let me get rid of the features there. All right, so that's done. And the next thing I want to do is, okay, I have that slide. I want to take a picture of this. I want to place a place mark there. So I'm going to click right here, add place mark, right on the garden wall. I'm just going to select that location right there. And we'll call that the arete place mark. And it's in my Google Landforms project. So I'm going to save it right there. Okay. So now I have two slides. If I actually present this, you'll see I have a slide that shows what an arete is, where it is, and the definition of it. And then if I click over, it'll show me an example of that. Okay. So let's go back to our project. We need to add more. We need to have more than just one landform, but that's an example of just one thing. So you're going to need to have a slide to tell me what it's about and its definition. And then you need an actual place mark to bring me there. So if I do another one, let's go back to my Google Landforms project here. Let's say, how about a delta from a stream? That's a nice, easy one. I can look up delta in Wikipedia if I want to, but I think you guys know what it is. Okay. And again, when you look up delta, remember there's going to be all kinds of different answers to that. So we're talking about river deltas. All right. So if I look up river delta, it's a landform from deposition of sediment as a river flows to its mouth and enters slow or a non-moving body of water. Okay, so that's important. Now, what I need to do here is I need to make a new feature. Okay, and again, a full screen slide for this, river delta, or just delta is fine. And we need to pick one. Well, like, where could we go for a river delta? There's lots of them all over the globe. We've looked at a few of them. How about, okay, there's all these other examples of them. How about the Nile River, right? That's a great example. So I'm going to zoom out here, find the Nile River. Where's the Nile River? Well, that's all the way over in Egypt. So I'm going to have to go way across the globe over here. And I could even look for it. I could type it in if I wanted to, you know, search for Nile River. And it would bring me there, obviously. Okay. But I was able to find it myself. I'm going to zoom right in on the delta. The delta is over here. Okay. If we want to clean this up, if we don't want all those roads and stuff, we can make the map a little bit nicer. Change the map style to clean, like that. Okay, and now I don't have anything else on there but the satellite view. And again, we're going to want to go back to our project here. We're calling this the Nile River Delta, and that's in Egypt, obviously. And, oh yeah, we're going to put that in this area right here. Okay. And we need the definition. A delta is, according to Wikipedia, or we can look in our textbook, or we can look on Google, a landform that's created at the mouth of a river. I'm going to copy that. And again, I'm going to paste it in there, plain text like this. And there, boom, we have that done. Okay. Now, we'll go back here. All right, so we have that made. And now, again, we're going to need to place a landmark right there. So I'm going to click on there and say this is my delta and save that, and we're done. Okay, so you're just going to do that with all your landforms. I want definition, location, and I want a picture of that. So if we were to present this from the very beginning, I could click through all these slides. I'm going to go back to here, present it. And so here's my arete, right? And then it'll bring me there. If I click on the next slide, it'll bring me right over to that. It jumps right over. Ta-da, we're there. And then if I click again, it brings me to my definition of delta. And if I click again, it brings me over to the Nile River Delta. So it'll just jump me across the globe as I go from place to place to see all these different landforms. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're going to do that with all 8 landforms. And when you're all done, you're going to need to save. It'll automatically save on Google Drive. It'll save right into your Google Drive folder. Okay, so last thing to do to turn this thing in, you're going to be sharing this project with me via MyCBA. And the best way to do that is to go up here where this little person is located. It says Share Project. Click on that. Don't add me. I don't want to link to this thing that way. I want you to copy the link like this. Just hit Copy Link and go back to this document, which you should have made a copy of. And you're going to insert your project link at the very bottom. Just hit Control V. Okay, and that will give me the link to that project, and I can just click on it and go to your project, and it'll open up and it'll bring me right to it, so I can see all those different places. I can click right through the project. Okay, now what I want you to do also in this document, obviously you're putting the link into your actual Google Earth project. What I want you to do is just highlight the words that you did. So if I did arete, right, so I'm just gonna click highlight. I'm gonna highlight that yellow. Okay, I did delta, so I'm gonna highlight that one, yellow. Okay, and all of the other words that you did in your project, just highlight them in here so I know where I'm going, what I'm looking at. Okay, and then I'll click on the project, I'll see it, and I'll grade you that way. Now this document is gonna be shared, again, just like any other document via MyCBA. So you're just gonna submit it that way. And that's the end. Now this project is going to be due probably at a later date, but that'll be specified within the agenda for today. Okay, if you have any questions about anything, again, let me know. If you need help with the actual making of the project, there's a tutorial here made by Google Earth, and you can check that out. But hopefully that makes sense, and we'll talk soon.